Hey guys, it's your girl T, and I want to shout out JT of VH1 Access. He was one of the first people to send me this story about the whole Christopher Lane situation. So if you guys have not heard, 22-year-old Christopher Lane was here from Melbourne, Australia on a baseball scholarship, and he was gunned down a few days ago by 3 crazy-ass teenagers. It was 15-year-old James Edwards, 16-year-old Chauncey Luna, and 17-year-old Michael Jones. These guys decided to go on a killing spree. These guys supposedly said that they were bored and they just felt like killing someone. They had posted all types of pictures on Facebook and Twitter, them flashing guns, them talking about white people. You know, just a lot of just nonsense that a lot of these kids are out here doing. You know, just showing that these kids have no regard nowadays for life. You know, these are not the first teens to say that they went to go do something this evil because they were bored. You guys remember a few weeks ago I did a story about a 15-year-old boy named Conrad, and it was him and his little friends. It was about 3 or 4 of them. They decided to go on a killing spree in Florida, and they ended up killing 2 innocent people just because they were bored. You know, these kids out here nowadays are just off the fucking chain. And then you have these parents who make excuses for them. Edwards Jones' father was on the news as with his sister, and they were saying that, you know, they were saying that he's a good kid. He wasn't there. The sister is saying that, you know, there needs to be more things for these kids to do. There needs to be more rec centers. Well, what about personal responsibility? You know, how is your 15-year-old out at night, no supervision, just roaming the streets, free to do him? Where was the father? Where was the mother? I hear the mother's in prison. But where are all these adults to steer him in the right direction? None of these boys just woke up one night and just decided to be bad kids. You know, this is an ongoing process, and I feel like a lot of these parents were turning a blind eye to their kids' behavior. You also had Chauncey Luna's mom, who swears up and down that he didn't do anything wrong and her son couldn't have been there, but then later on in other interviews, she admits, okay, well, fine, maybe her son was involved. You know, this is just insane to me. And of course, this has turned into a huge race debate. You know, a lot of people are saying that Obama's wrong for not speaking out on this. They're saying if he can talk about Trayvon Martin and say that if he had a son, he would look like Trayvon, why can't he say the same thing about Chris Lane? They're saying that if anything, Obama really needs to talk about this because now this is affecting, you know, diplomacy with Australia. And a lot of Australians are upset. They're, you know, sending out announcements telling Australians to not come to America, that America is too violent because of our gun culture and everything else. You know, this whole situation is just a tragedy. Nobody, I don't care what race you are, deserves to lose their life over something so senseless and foolish. You know, it just makes no sense to me. This man was doing nothing more than visiting his girlfriend and deciding to go on a jog, and these boys came and took his life away. And then on top of that, they were posting all types of bullshit on Twitter, all types of bullshit on Facebook. They were posing with guns and, you know, sending all types of crazy tweets about, you know, they're about to go out and go kill somebody. And it's like nobody saw this. No one thought to alert authorities. You know, this is just crazy that these kids are so wanting to be just so bad and so gangster. And then you got Bill O'Reilly blaming hip-hop and blaming hip-hop culture. Are there some messed up things in hip-hop culture? Yes, there are. Are there some things that are talked about in hip-hop culture that are perpetuated that are wrong? Yes, there is. But just because you listen to hip-hop doesn't make you want to go out and kill somebody. You know, at the end of the day, to me, it's personal responsibility. I grew up on hip-hop. I love hip-hop music, and I would never think to go out and take somebody's life for some bullshit over being bored. You know, it's easy to place the blame on hip-hop as opposed to placing it on these 3 perpetrators. And another thing, a lot of people are saying that, you know, why isn't Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson speaking on the situation? The other day, Jesse Jackson decided to send this tweet on Twitter, and people went in on him. He basically sent a tweet basically saying that this should be frowned upon, and a lot of people took a lot of offense to that. A lot of people were really, really upset about that. That this should be frowned upon is just silly. You know, I think that he should have used more words. I think that he should have made a clearer statement. And I understand why people were kind of offended by him saying that this should be frowned upon. You know, cheating on your wife and getting your side piece pregnant and then trying to, you know, not claim your illegitimate child, that's something that should be frowned upon. But murdering somebody because you're bored, no, that should be dealt with swiftly and quickly. I don't think it should be frowned upon. These guys need the book thrown at them. I don't care how young they are. They knew what they were doing. As of today, it's come out now that the father who was able to turn in these 3 boys, He turned them in because he was a vigilant father. He saw that his son was being threatened online because he has an open relationship with his son. His son came to him and told him, you know what, these guys are threatening to kill me. They want me to join this gang. I don't want to be in the gang. If it was not for this father's due diligence, these guys probably would have got away with this murder. But because his father stepped up and called the police, they were able to get caught. The father is now coming out saying that this was not a case of boredom. This was a gang initiation. I'm going to go ahead and play you guys a news clip right now, and then I'll come back with the rest of my commentary.
I don't think it was for fun. I don't think it was at random. I think it was the initiation.
Gang initiation.
Because I understand that after that happened, there's a list that so-called pops up with my name, my son's name at the top of the list, and 4 others they was going to bump off.
Where did that list come from?
I don't know.
How have you heard about that list?
A couple of people came to me and shared that information with me. I don't go a lot on hearsay, but on this one, I went with it.
So a couple of young people, or people affiliated, or who are aware of the gang activities, say there is a list around with 4 names on it, including your son's name.
Right.
And so you think that early killing, even though they didn't know who Chris Lane was, it could have been a gang initiation?
I believe so.
Is that a common thing in the gang culture?
Now, all that gang stuff, man, you're asking the wrong person. I don't know.
So are you concerned for your son's safety now?
Of course I am.
Has he been mixing with these kids in the past?
They grew up together. These guys are all buddies and kin folks and buds, you know what I mean? They all grew up together.
Nice kids?
Like I said, these kids can be good kids. They are good kids. They just don't have any male figures in their lives. No men. You can't give kids that kind of liberty to go do what they want to, with no restraints whatsoever. Do what you want, when you want, and how you want.
You guys just watched the news clip, and I just think the whole situation, regardless if it was a gang initiation or boredom, it was just senseless and uncalled for. And this is just insane that kids have so much access to guns, and they're so desensitized, and they don't understand the ramifications of their actions. When you take somebody's life, there is no coming back from that. I don't understand how these kids don't realize that. They always have these cool plans, and they want to be infamous, but they don't realize with that infamy that you can get caught. And that it can change your whole life. Now these parents are crying. These parents are out here, you know, trying to defend themselves. These parents are miserable. You see the boy's mom out here crying, the sister. You know, nobody wins from this tragedy. This family in Australia who done lost their son, you know, they're willing from this tragedy. Did you have the perpetrator's mother, the perpetrator's father, sister, they're willing from this tragedy? This whole situation was just senseless. It's a bunch of damn fucking kids trying to be E-famous, trying to be gangsters, trying to be thugs. Instead of them wanting to do better with their lives and be about something, they wanted to be gangsters. And when you choose that gangster lifestyle, these are some of the consequences that come with that. Long prison sentences or the death penalty. You know, this whole situation was just insane. And I get kind of bothered with people comparing it to the Trayvon Martin situation. And people are saying that, you know, the media is not running with this because, you know, it's a white guy and it's black guys who shot him. Last time I checked, Michael Jones is a white male. And from what I'm hearing, he's also a teen father. He has a baby on the way with his 17-year-old girlfriend. That's why I tell kids all the time, life is about choices and decisions. Imagine if the driver chose to stay home with his pregnant girlfriend and do the right thing. Get a job. Take care of this baby that's on the way. Imagine if he chose to do that as opposed to running with his little gangbang friends. He probably wouldn't be in the situation that he's in right now. That's why a lot of young people need to start making smarter decisions. Stop being sheeples. Use common sense. Just because somebody is your friend doesn't mean shit. Because when it comes down to it, are you willing to do that time with your friend? Are you willing to go to death row with your friend? You know, this is insane. Now they're all turning on each other. They're pointing the fingers. They're saying this person was more involved than this person. It's just not worth it. We need to start making better decisions as young people. Stop letting your friends pressure you into bullshit. By the time you're 8 years old, you should know the difference between right and wrong. And when you're 15, 16, 17, you should know that if you shoot somebody, that there's a potential of them dying, and they're not coming back from that. You know, so I just think this whole situation is just tragic. I think young people need to learn from this. I talked to my sons about this the other day. People need to learn from this. You know, take these boys' mistakes and their stupidity as a lesson. And then don't you perpetuate it. When your friends come at you and they're like, you know, we're bored, let's go shoot some people, or let's just go do some dirt just on GP, tell them no. I'm cool. I like my life. I like being free. I don't want to be infamous. You know, this is just crazy to me. This was just senseless. And I feel so bad, and it makes me mad because this could have been anybody. This could have been me jogging down the street. This could have been you jogging down the street. That's what makes it worse. It's not like this is a man who had beef with these kids. This man didn't even know what the fuck hit him. That's the part that hurts the most, is that he had no idea what hit him. And then to have this man die in a gutter like that is just tragic. And it was just uncalled for and unnecessary. But I don't compare this case to the Trayvon Martin situation, because these kids have been caught, and trust and believe they will be facing the fullest extent of the law. Whereas with George Zimmerman, it took for Al Sharpton, Jesse Jackson, Obama, and everybody else to get involved before they would even arrest George Zimmerman. So I think that's the main difference between the Trayvon Martin situation and this situation. But anyways, I don't want to make this video too long. I want you to go ahead and leave your opinion. Do you feel like, you know, the media is being biased with this case? Do you feel like Obama should say something about this situation? And do you feel like this is similar to the Trayvon Martin situation? And how do you feel about these kids out here killing because of boredom, killing because of gang initiation, and all types of nonsense? Go ahead, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. All right. Deuces.